For those of you that, how many of you guys know me? Okay, good. You've seen me before? Okay, great, thanks. My name's Kathy Cruz. We do marketing, social media. I'm a content strategist at heart, really, but I grew up in the car business. My grandfather was a dealer in the 50s in downtown Los Angeles. So I worked my way up through all the positions in a dealership, and in 2008, and I've actually been dealer of record, executive manager for a lot of those years. I actually became a manager pretty quick. I didn't work for my grandpa because he was out by the time I became working age. So, but I worked at this Mazda Subaru dealership and the owner was a Swiss guy, and he had his family working there, and he had this controller guy that used to come in every morning and be all mysterious, and I had come there just as a kind of a salesperson. So, but I wanted something else to do, wanted some more work to do, so I used to see that controller, and people would be afraid of him, and so I thought, well, let me see if he's got something I can do for work. So I went and asked him, and then pretty soon he figured out that he could go golf while I did his work. So I actually learned the back end of the business too. So I'm well entrenched in automotive operations. So I started Cruise Control as an operational consulting business, which is because I kind of have a knack for looking at statements and seeing where the issues may be. So, but I got into social and digital marketing and online reputation management, actually through online reputation management, very organically. My car was in service at a dealership. I used to manage Beverly Hills BMW, and one of my good friends that used to work for me was at my local BMW dealership. So I took my car in for service, and when I got home, I wanted to write a review for them on Yelp, and I noticed that they had 1.5 stars on Yelp. And this dealer he's got everything like A++. He checks all the boxes. He's a super smart guy, but 1.5 stars on Yelp. So I did a little mini market study and figured, let's see what all the other BMW stores in California are reading on Yelp, and all but about 4 had 1.5 or 2 stars. So I knew there was going to be this need for social and online reputation, and just the idea of the customer being online. That was going to have to be addressed inside dealer operations. So there's a lot of vendors that do it for you, but there's a huge component, especially now. That was 6 years ago. It's moved very much more towards where it needs to be participation inside the store. It's okay to outsource, but there is a component. So we're going to go through that today. So how many of you guys, I'm just going to try to get a read of Dale, I already know how many of you guys are from dealerships? Okay, so just one, okay. And the rest are vendors? Vendors, okay, all right. With dealership backgrounds, okay, great. So maybe we've got a small enough group. So you guys, what do you?
Okay, so basically my name is Frank Lynch, and we're in the middle of rebranding TrueFrame right now. So we're the company that inspects cars for our partners at Carfax that basically have accident history.
And you're here to learn about social, is that, what was the catalyst for you coming here?
We're in the middle of rebranding TrueFrame into Car SPX, right?
Got it.
So we need a social marketing platform / company to transition us out of a product into a company.
Great.
So I'm like, you know what, this is I want to hear Kathy speak, because I come from a 10-year BMW background at Vista. So if you were at Beverly Hills BMW, we're at Vista, so we're the 2 big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure our paths cross.
Yeah, probably. One of those dealer meetings.
CFO, and Michael's our Chief Operating Officer.
Okay. Hi. Hi, welcome. Come on, sit down. Gentleman from the dealership, what's your name?
Jason Church.
Hi, Jason.
Chevrolet.
Oh, you do? Okay. Oh, yeah, I know your store. I know Ralph and... Yeah. So great. So what did you come for?
I used to do the internet side of it, but now I run a used car department, so I keep up with all of this stuff, and I just wanted to see what the latest is.
Awesome. Great. Okay. Anybody else want to share what was the catalyst for them being here today? Okay, we're still, hi.
Always looking for more ways to gain traffic, right? So I work for JMA. We administer lots of programs out there, particularly the CPO program.
Got it.
Always trying to drive traffic to the stores online.
great.
More ideas, the better.
Yeah, there's a lot to be done out there that's pretty valuable. So a lot of people are not on the boat, and I'm like, wow, there's so much to be done. So, all right, so let's jump in. I don't like standing on the stage, so I hope you know I'm going to stand down here. So for those of you that are not that into social, you don't spend the day in social media, it's really not in a silo by itself anymore. It's connected to content. I'm going to talk a lot about content today. Content meaning the content that's on your website. With regard to car buyers, they are online searching like we all are. We're searching for in the buying process. And Google had a study, 95% of car shoppers start with their purchase journey online. So kind of makes sense that you'd want to be online, right? I was just talking to DL before we started here that it seems to be I don't know, maybe you guys have crossed the path along the way here on your path of people that are kind of naysayers to digital. They aren't really, they kind of aren't really bought into it too much. You know, we make enough money, or we sell enough cars, or all of those things. So anybody run into something like that in your organization? Yeah. So this kind of tells you this is where everybody wants to be. And marketing is the new sales. So dealership operations have to adapt. Marketing meaning the things that you do before the actual lead happens. And there's such an opportunity to connect with customers through social, through your content on your site if you have a blog, through whatever types of content you share, whether it's videos or images or blog posts that are written. All of those things can speak to the customer. And in order to get a better mix of content involving staff at the store is very, very important. So I just did a presentation last month about this, and we did an all-day workshop. And so many of the attendees, these were not dealers, they were dealer people, but not dealer principals. And so many of the attendees were, you know, my boss doesn't buy into this. He tells me that it's, we're selling enough cars, and they're not really wanting to get into it. And there's 150 people in the room, and just see how much value there is in this. So there is a hurdle to get over with that. So we'll talk about how to adapt in dealership operations. What we're really talking about is connecting with that customer on the purchase journey wherever they may be. And so I've got this kind of marketing consideration idea here about the see, think, and do customer. So the C customers are people who buy and service cars, okay? So that's pretty much, almost everybody. And then the think customers, these are people that buy and service cars and are thinking that they might need to do something. So those people are maybe before the purchase, maybe 6 months before the purchase or so. Could be longer, could be shorter, but we'll just say 6 months. And then the do customers are people who buy and service cars thinking they might need to, and they're ready to take action now. So the content that we create, whether it's in advertising, marketing, whatever it is that we create, needs to address all of those stages in our plan, in our marketing plan, all right? So let's jump into the social media secrets. And I use, social media, like I say, it is not in a silo by itself anymore. You don't just do social. It's intertwined into search very, very, very much. And content keeps those three together are really what drive marketing. So I use the term social media, but we're going to kind of go back and forth today. So first is, the number one is be social. And this is where people are required. Okay, so I see so many dealership Facebook pages that are, just sharing things like, the latest vehicle that came in with a special and whatever. That's not very social. It's more spammy. So I actually had a dealer said, on social media, do I actually need to be social? That was the catalyst for actually this slide. So from the customer's perspective, when you're not social, it looks like you don't care, right? If you guys have been on, how many of you guys are on social yourselves? So when you go to a Facebook page or a Twitter account and you see that they're not really interacting, what does it feel like? Like they don't care, right? Like they're not really participating. Like, and why would you? Because you don't want a one-way conversation. So it also looks like you might not be paying attention. Okay, if I'm a dealer or owner or even a manager, I don't want it to look like I'm not paying attention. And certainly looks like you're not interested in gaining them as a client. So that leads me to the first component in kind of our overall marketing plan. I'm going to push marketing plan today. I have specific presentations for marketing plans, but I would suggest you guys start with a plan. It's so much easier to execute when you have a plan. Set goals and objectives. So if you're going to get in the car and go drive to somewhere unknown, what are you going to do? You're going to pull out your phone and you're going to look at whatever's, what Google Maps tells you or whatever map application you use. You're not going to just kind of find your way and kind of this, it's so much easier. It's going to take 100 times longer to get where you want to go if you don't have a goal. So examples of goals, a strategic marketing plan. Okay, this would cover the goals that you want to reach, the strategy to get those goals, to achieve them, whatever they may be, how you're going to execute the strategy, the tactics you're going to take, how you're going to measure those tactics, and tie them back to your goals. That's ROI, right? When you can tie your efforts back to your spend and your goals, then you actually have ROI. But you can't really do any of that without a marketing plan. So some specific goals that might be in a marketing plan would be grow page likes and followers. So consistent, fresh content on your blog. How many have a blog? Oh, you have a blog? Okay. Where are you from? Car Story, okay. Yeah, of course you guys have a blog. Yeah, great. You guys that are B2B, okay, there's huge numbers in having a blog on a website for B2B. So lots of opportunity on LinkedIn to share content. Okay, some other goals. So increase reach and engagement. Maybe there's some Facebook ads that specific goal is to get more engagement on a particular post. Drive traffic to your website, of course. Those we'll show you Facebook ads in a little bit. And then convert fans into customers. All right. So number 3 is solid content strategy plan. And this is basically what you're going to post and why. This is where the planning part of it works really well. So what is content strategy, right? What is it? It's basically a plan for adding unique, expert, indexable content to your site and social media on a regular basis. Okay? Everybody get what that means, indexable? Yeah, okay. And then just not to have the kind of the more customer-friendly answer is getting the right message to the right customer at the right time, okay? Content is really what's interesting to the reader, what's going to give them information that they're looking for if they're online. Information, whether it's going to help them, whether it's going to deal with a problem they're having, in some way it's going to connect them where you've helped them, okay? So with the content mix, we talked about earlier the see, think, and do customers, all right? So this is the type of content that would be ideal for these types of customers. So the C customer, those people are way at the top of the sales funnel. The think customers are at the middle part of the sales funnel. And then the do customers are at the bottom with their legs dangling out, okay? So C customer, you're looking at branded content. So this gentleman here talked about they're changing their brand, and you guys changed your brand a little bit too. So you've got a way to communicate your brand, what it really is, what the core values of your brand are. People are looking for a way to connect with a brand. It's not just about price. It's not just about the widget that you sell or the service that you do. It's about an emotional attachment that people have. And if you can tap into that with content, awesome. Okay. Unique, of course. I see a lot of dealership. I have a Lexus client that's got signed up with a vendor to push Facebook posts to their Facebook page. Whenever this company pushes this piece of content out that really is not unique in any way and it's not really meaningful in any way, They push it out at the same time to all of the dealers that have signed up in the whole United States at the same time. So it makes you look really, really bad. And it's not even that great a content to begin with. So yeah, and you want to make it shareable. So I'll show you some examples of what's shareable in a minute. So the think customer, those are people that are like thinking they might need to make a move on buying a car or service or whatever the case may be. You certainly want to be helpful. You want to show some expertise that you have, okay? Make yourself kind of the likable expert, yourself meaning your company. What is it that you do so well that no one else does? And everybody's got their own expertise, everybody, especially brands. So, and then frequently asked questions. So within a dealership environment, there's not, I don't see a lot of dealerships that have frequently asked questions on their website, and it would sure help. So if you're ever thinking about having a frequently asked questions page on your site, I would definitely ask your salespeople what their 3 most frequently asked questions are that their customers ask them, and then start from that. That'll get you some traction. Service people too. I know we don't have a lot of dealers in the room, so, but nonetheless, you can take that and apply that to whatever it is that you guys, your salespeople inside your organization certainly are speaking to your customers every day. So they know what those needs are, those concerns are, the questions they have. And then the do customers, again, indexable content, urgent offers, urgent in marketing, urgent, create urgency and scarcity, and you've got a lead, and then lead gen. So we'll talk about all of these examples in a little bit here. So this is not a content strategy. So I feel like I'm friends with, this is a personal page called Chevy Montebello. Facebook will catch up to them sooner or later. But for now, they aren't. So I'm friends with them on my Facebook page just for research purposes. And as you can see, if you saw something like this in your feed, if you saw something like that in your Facebook feed, what would you think? Anybody want to say? Huh? Spam? Spam, yeah. Yeah. There's a time and place for this information, just not like that, right? So number 4 of our 10 secrets here, this is a kind of a 3-step process for Facebook marketing that actually does generate leads and sales. It's a very step-by-step process. So I do a whole workshop on this 3-step process here, so we're going to go pretty quick through it though. So the first one is publish awesome content, okay? So awesome content means what's awesome to your customers that speaks about your brand. This is where that marketing plan comes in. A brand discovery, if you know a lot about what your brand is, and we call it brand attributes. It's kind of like if you describe your brand in 3 words. There's some work behind this, right? To try to figure out how you're unique, how you are different than everyone else. And trust me, there is so much noise on the internet right now that there is such a need for differentiation, okay? So with regard to awesome dealership content is what I call hyperlocal self-published stories. Stories connect people. We connect to when we hear a story and we listen, okay? So if you can tell a story, and there's thousands of stories that happen every day, a lot of people go, oh, we don't have any stories. Yes, there's plenty. It's just sitting quiet and realizing that there are stories to be told. Like your story of rebranding, that's a story, right? And that's a monumental feat to try to take on, right? So you could talk about just the steps that you're taking to do that. So this is my client in Catskill, Lacey Ford. I did a blog post about this, the perfect Facebook post. So if you can see, so let's say you're just tooling along in your Facebook feed and you're connected to you like this page and you see this in your feed, and you're an employee at another dealership. What are the things that you might think about this?
They like what they do, they're absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, I had another client see it and he said, I want to work there so bad. I want to work there. So that communicates this fun, I want to work there. And a customer sees that, they think, oh, awesome, these people, this is a great place to do business. So it might be hard for you to see, but up here, Dunkin' Donuts, iced coffee, they tagged Dunkin' Donuts, and they were doing a children's hospital event, and if you, let's see, if you buy an iced coffee, $1's donated. So it says that they're giving back. I mean, there's just so many things about this particular post that are like so perfect. And truly, this is the BDC, the people that work in the BDC, the managers right there on the left, that's Kristen.
So were you able to connect synergy with that local Dunkin' Donuts? Or not?
Yes, yeah, they go there.
Did a push-pull because
It wasn't really a planned one. They just go there, and
it just happened?
yeah, it was an in-person kind of like they had a connection, so yeah. So they also do this thing called the Fridays. So the BDC, there's 5 or 6 of them depending, but they use the hashtag the Fridays, and it's just like the BDC people, they call themselves the Fridays, and they do little videos and little pictures and things like that. So if any of you guys have seen Reservoir Dogs, of course, that's that. And then this was downtown Catskill. They had I don't know if you can see it okay, but there's a cat thing here. There was an art installation of these cats in town, and then they stumbled upon a couple of cops, and they all took a picture. It was just having fun in Catskill. They call it catting around Catskill. So again, they're differentiating themselves to their audience. And people see them, these people, and the salespeople at the dealership too, they'll see them getting gas or something in town, and they'll go, are you one of the Fridays? It's hilarious because this happened totally organically, but it worked really well. So they still do it every day. You can go to their page, and they do every Friday, they'll typically post something. So they share helpful information. This is a blog post, just the 6 commonly asked service questions and answers, and that's one of their texts. They did an Instagram Wash My Whip contest. So if you shared a picture of your dirty car with the hashtag Wash My Whip, you got entered into a free detail drawing. They do a $1,000 test drive. They do this about every quarter or so, where people go to a landing page and just take a test drive, and they get entered to win $1,000. And I think it goes for about 30 days. So, yeah. And then this magical image that just happened as he's walking by. Someone's child had left their bunny there, so that's the number to the dealership. So yeah, so you can see where the people inside the store, and there's downtime for the BDC, right? They do their calls. They're selling about, I think, new and used, certified pre-owned, everything together about 170 cars a month, something like that. So they're not always, working. So they have the downtime, and the downtime is what they use to brainstorm content and just talk about ideas and things like that. So our 3-step process for Facebook marketing, the second one is grow likes, reach, and engagement. So this is where we tap into Facebook ads. Anybody running Facebook ads? I know you are. You are? Awesome, great, okay. Gold mine out there, guys, just saying, okay? It's not easy, but there's lots to be had out there. So if you're new to Facebook, you want to grow likes. You don't have to grow likes if you don't want to, but I feel like there's a value in growing likes, creating that community on Facebook that mirrors your real life community, connect people. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of likes. It should create a community around your brand. And then boost your posts for reach and engagement. And boosting is a specific, very easy, very simple Facebook ad. Anyone not know what a boost post is? Okay, great. All right, and then the third one, after you've grown your likes and your reach and engagement, you've got this awesome content going for you, okay? Now comes the time to actually take people further down the sales funnel. So we're going to generate leads using Facebook unpublished post ads. Those are what some people are calling dark posts. I can't go into too much detail about how they work, but they're basically ads that go in people's news feeds, but they are not in the news feed they're not on your timeline. They're not on your Facebook page. That's why they're called dark, because they don't show on your page. They're just off the grid, and they get pushed to whoever you target, okay? And we'll talk about Facebook targeting, ad targeting in a second. So you can send people to your website. In this case, you can see Lacey's has they do this, are you a good person with bad credit? So they've got this $25 gift for coming and, it's either a test drive or I think test drive. And then you can increase conversions on your website as well through these ads. You drive people to your website, and in order to increase conversions, you need to have landing page. Everyone know what a landing page is? Okay, great. And basically, it's just this contact form here. All right, so number 5 of our secrets is target the right audience. So with regard to Facebook ads, audience demographics matter. I always, when I'm doing a brand discovery with a new client, I ask them, who are your clients? And they start this out with anyone who. And I can tell you that while that may be true, okay, especially in the world of selling cars to people, it doesn't help you in your marketing strategy. It doesn't help you in the content strategy. You have to drill down exactly who your customers are. And so what are their interests? You know, the interests of someone that lives in Beverly Hills is going to be much different than the person that lives in Scottsdale. Okay? There could be some similarities, but there could be differences. There are differences, many differences. So shopping behaviors. There's, with regard to targeting ads, specific Facebook ads, you can actually look and see what shopping behavior someone might have. Things like in the market to buy a used car in the next 180 days, for instance. You could target an ad to that interest. Custom audience. Anyone using custom audience? Anybody? Okay. Custom audience is basically you can upload. First, before I say upload, anyone using Power Editor. All right, Power Editor is a Facebook ads app. It's on Chrome. It allows you to edit ads that you're running. It's way advanced, but there's lots of really good opportunity with Power Editor. You can upload your database, your email database. Say you want to segment out a database, maybe people that bought a car 3 years ago. You want to segment that out. You can upload those emails to Facebook ads, and it will create an audience for you out of those emails that you can push ads to. Okay. Lookalike audience. So lookalike audience, they will take your custom audience, and Facebook will take all of the users that look like that audience. Website custom audiences, that's just another word for retargeting. So if anybody's ever been shopping for something off Facebook and then you go back on Facebook and immediately you have that same thing you were shopping for, you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with retargeting. And then this is a new one called lead ads. Has anyone heard of lead ads yet? It's fairly new. It's mobile only. I don't think it's a great tool for car sales. I think it's a great tool for service, if you have an oil change special. Basically, it's very simple. You just set it up. When the customer sees the ad, they click on it, and it brings up a small little mobile landing page, and they don't have to fill out any of their information. Facebook populates it for you. They just click, yes, get it, and off you go. So as I said, there's a lot of opportunity with Facebook ads. We don't have enough time today to go into all of it, but enough. Hopefully you have enough information that you can go and search further. Landing pages are super important. So number 6 secret here is always have a landing page. I see some dealerships that are doing Facebook ads or pay-per-click or whatever the case may be to drive people to their website, but it drives them to just their homepage. Well, where are people supposed to go after that? You have to tell people where to go. There's always a case for driving people to a specific page on your site or a specific place, but you want to make sure you target the right place. Okay? Otherwise, you're just kind of tossing money into the wind. So with landing pages, there's always got to be a call to action and always a contact form. And number 7 of our secrets is incorporate social selling in the sales process. There's a study my friend Jim Keenan did about social selling. 79% of salespeople who use social media as a selling tool outperform those who don't. So there's a huge opportunity, and I don't know, we don't have a lot of dealers here, but did you say your name? What's your name? Jason. Do you guys have salespeople that are on social? Yeah, kind of create, did it happen out of just an organic way, or did you guys actually say,
Bit of both.
yeah,
So we have some salespeople that sell a lot of referrals, and a lot of it's through their Facebook posts,
yeah,
pushing to LinkedIn.
yep. Yep, LinkedIn is an awesome place to do it too. Social selling. LinkedIn has a whole social selling platform. There's a couple of people that are involved with LinkedIn that are social selling managers on LinkedIn. They're really pushing this idea of connecting with networking, basically, to drive referrals and connect with current customers and that type of thing. So, and content is what drives that. This is just an example of another that I feel the pain. I take the pain for you guys because I want to show you. This gal, I don't know her. We're friends on Facebook, Billy Sue. She's at some place, and she's got, this is her post of this car, better than new, certified, HG warranty, versatile. I don't want to read the rest of it. It's total spam. And then it's hard to tell, but this here, and then all of this, I couldn't fit it all in one shot. So this page is just a continuation of this page. She's tagged all those people on Facebook. Oh my. That is painful, okay? No. No one's gonna buy from you, Billy Sue. She's a stalker, yeah. I mean, and you know, I don't know, lately there's so much, people are just getting bolder and things on Facebook, but man, that unfollow button and that unfriend button has been a good companion lately. So, but I just stay friends with her because I can show you guys what not to do. So the old sales model is cold calls, demos, qualify leads, okay? It's not that that's completely gone, okay? But the new model is social networks, education, and engagement, okay? And when you have salespeople, that's like a whole team of people that can engage. Now we have to train them and have a social media policy so they know what they can say and what they can't. But that's when I was talking earlier about having the inside the dealership operations shift, salespeople and service writers, I should say, service advisors either way, I'd say writers. This idea of connecting with customers using your team. So, and I like to say, if your customers are online and your products are online, then why aren't your salespeople online? Okay. And this is where you've heard the term maybe in other, I don't know if we have any today at the conference, but in other conferences you hear about personal branding. Anyone hear about personal branding inside the automotive? It's helping salespeople, like you guys are rebranding, so helping a salesperson brand themselves, what their attributes are, what if you were to describe them 3 words, okay? Takes a little work. You know, you don't want to just put them out there into the world. Never know what they might say. So with regard to that, you know, how do we motivate the team for social selling, right? So the first one is we have to address the what's in it for me. I have a lot of clients that have done that and are seeing really great results, especially when it comes to online reviews. I have a client that put up a $25 spiff for any salesperson that was named in a 4 or 5-star review on Google. They wanted to grow their Google reviews, so they started with 23 reviews and they had 4.8 stars, and in 90 days they had over 100 and they still had 4.8 stars. So now they've got about 200 or so. So just a $25 spiff that, you know, does a good job. But also selling that what's in it for me, helping them see, because customers are Googling salespeople. So and a lot of times, especially if the salesperson doesn't have their own blog or doesn't have their own way to get content out, it's typically when they Google them, it will come up in some type of a review. So good or bad, but it's coming up. You know, I say leverage your teachers. You know, teachers are salespeople. They're educators, okay? They know a lot about the cars. They know a lot about the products. They know they're gold mines for that. So leverage that in some way. Best testimonial video of the week or month. Give a spiff for that. Check in at sales meetings, certainly. You know, if you got a screen, bring up your reviews, look at them, talk about them. Bring up, you know, whatever was like the wins that week. You know, we talk about the sales that we've had for the week or the month and where we are. Tracking that is awesome, but let's track reviews. Let's track our social engagement too, okay? and just how many leads you had from social networks or just from leads coming in through your content that you've created that the sales people may have had a hand in, to give them that, like, what's in it for me. This is a gal, Lindsay Shaker. She's, her dad owns this dealership in Connecticut, and there's just, their reviews are so good, and she responds to them. By the way, if you have online reviews, you need to respond to every review. And I know we don't have too many dealers here, but Jason, do you guys respond to every review?
With the exception of Yelp. If it's a bad Yelp, we wait 2 days to see if it gets taken away.
Yeah.
Then we respond to it.
Great.
But yeah, every review is fine.
Yeah, good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 star. Respond. It's just shows that you care. It's that thing we talked about in the very first slide about be social. Just respond. Number 8 is online reputation. So I did a big national training for online reputation and social media just in the earlier part of this year. And we did this study from Lightspeed. It said 67% of customers are deterred from doing business with your dealership after seeing just 3 negative reviews. So pretty crazy, right? The process is the key, internal. So you want to invite people to review you. Then you can use the salespeople, leverage salespeople to do that. Give them a script. Mr. Customer, our business is based on referrals, and we'd really appreciate it if you'd share your opinions here. And then you can have them give a card. I like a star-shaped card with you can even put a QR code on it if you want. But anyway, you can remind the customer, invite them. And certainly before that happens, you want to make sure the culture is such that you'd want to invite them to do that. So that's a whole another topic for another day. Of course, you're going to monitor reviews. You're going to respond to them. You're going to try to improve them using these tactics of maybe getting gamification going for salespeople and service writers. Okay, and then certainly promote them. It's quite fine to share what is being said about you on other platforms. Number 9 is social customer service. So you guys know what social customer service is. It's basically, the customers are wanting to connect with brands by social now. They don't call, they don't email, they want to connect, they want to tweet. If I have a problem with, and I do on a regular basis with Time Warner Cable, the only way that I can get them to listen to me is I tweet them. And maybe it's because I have a bigger network, but I don't know. But I do get them to answer. So be out there listening. There's lots of studies and lots of stats about this. So this one here was 87% of customer Facebook messages are ignored. So when someone messages your page, if you have that option, you may have decided to not have that option, but if you do, you want to respond. And in fact, Facebook is tracking how long it takes you to respond, and they're telling you how long. And they're giving you little cues to respond now. So it looks like they're kind of ramping up their review process on Facebook. I saw something else the other day. In my feed, it showed I had checked in on Facebook, and it showed 3 or 4 places I had been. It said, help the community, write a review for this. That's something new. I haven't seen that. So I think they're trying to ramp up a little bit on that. 71% of those who receive positive social care are likely to recommend your brand to others. All right. And then 19% of those who don't get any response are likely to recommend that brand. And number 10 of our secrets today is blog for business. So we talked about blogging earlier, and the core of the blog is content, stories, strategy, telling people in whatever fashion, whether it's video, written word, images, what it is about you, why people buy from you. Okay. I had a gal reach out to me, and she had that question. How she approached her dealer and said, "Can you tell me why people buy from us?" and she didn't ask in that way, but because she's trying to figure out her brand, and she's trying to go through a little bit of a discovery on her own, and the dealer couldn't help her, and the managers couldn't help her. So I said, well, go ask your customers. Either go online and look at your reviews, or you probably have some raving fans. Every business does. So you take maybe a dozen or so. Whenever we are doing marketing for a company, we will do that. We will reach out to their raving fans and ask why people buy from them. Why do they buy from them? And that will give you some inspiration. And it's funny when you go through this process, all the dealers are like, wow, I didn't realize how disconnected I'd become from my business. It's helped me know why I do what I do. So it's really a great process. And certainly blogging is a component, a integral part of SEO. And again, if I said you guys earlier, if you guys have SEO companies that aren't doing content for you, find another company. It makes you look like a likable expert. Social signals. Social signals are basically your blog content shared on social, Facebook, Twitter, that people are clicking on. So it needs to be interesting, not like Billy Sue. Okay, she's got something not interesting. But if she had something interesting, that would be clickable. And that would then send a social signal to Google search engines that this is important content. You're showing your expertise. You've also got some personal brand blogs from salespeople. I'll show you that in a minute. And certainly blogs do generate traffic, leads, and sales. Definitely organic traffic is a huge component, a blog is. So here's an example of Lacey's dealership blog that they have. And just some blog content tips here. Let me get going here. So examples, so stories of why people buy from you, certainly. A clickable headline. There's lots of content on search about clickable headlines and how to write a great headline. I've blogged about it a few times. Hyperlocal content, we talked about that earlier. Employee engagement, getting employees. Employees are the most trusted part of your store. Customers trust the employees more than they trust the boss. So if you can have them engaged somehow, the way Lacey's has with their Fridays or the Dunkin' Donuts thing. Optimized for search, certainly there's a component to that. Publish consistently, I would say at least once a week. Twice a week is better, 3 times is even better. You could do a video blog. A lot of people are savvy with video, so there's that. And then syndicate it through social, which just means post it on social on a regular basis. And you can post it more than once if you have a blog post. And then here's an example of some personal brand blogs. This is Kevin, the Jeep guy, Kevin McCarthy. This is his own page. And he does this topless weather report, just basically because, Jeep's topless. So he just does videos, and he's really cool. And it's hard to see, but up at the top, under his name, it says, Nikki's husband, Lala's daddy, your Jeep guy. So he shares his reviews on there. He takes kind of responsibility and ownership and accountability for himself online. I know him, so he's gone through personal branding. So he knows exactly who he is and what he wants to say. Customers do Google salespeople. So this is Mike Carrera. He's a sales manager, e-commerce director. He's actually the GSM now at Raceway Ford. So he's got 140,000 different results for him when you Google him. Certainly says a lot about credibility. He's been online for a long time, for, a good 7 or 8 years probably. So I asked him to give me a quote here. So Dale, you want to read it? Read it out loud?
Social media validates me to my customers. They know doing business with me is the right decision. My strong presence makes it easy for a prospect to do their own Googling, and they're always impressed with what they find.
Yeah. So this is where you're getting that what's in it for me and what actually happens. Okay. And I know that since Mike's been at Raceway Ford, their sales have grown 3 times where they were. He's been there about a year and a half. So just to recap, our social media marketing secrets to increase traffic, leads, and sales. So first, be social. Second, set clear goals and objectives, right? Okay. Solid content strategy. Make sure that you know what you're going to say before you say it. The kick-ass 3-step Facebook marketing method. Facebook ad targeting, lead landing pages, social selling, online reputation management, social customer service, and blog for business. So I'll leave you with this. The digital relationship building decreases the time from computer research to a handshake on the lot. And there I am. Does anybody have any questions? None? All right. Well, thank you very much.
Chad.